be in the same conference anymore, but when it comes to playing each other, it feels like old times, and that means they are ready to get it on. Oregon coming into this contest with a lineup that has a lot of other coaches saying, I'd kill for it. Lushar, Sinicki, Lushar's sister, Kedri, Cox. My goodness, Emma's finally healthy for Oregon. You go up and down that lineup, and it is one that will hurt you. What's going to be critical for Oregon State is to not give this Oregon team any extra outs. This team is absolutely loaded, but keep in mind, and Oregon State beat these guys at the Jane back in March. It was a huge victory for this Oregon State club, one that Laura Berg challenges her team to draw from. And there's a good look at Oregon State coming in at 17-16, having defeated Montana 7-0 in that Monday morning game. Oregon, of course, sweeping Minnesota in their last Big Ten series. So both teams coming in with some momentum. And we talked about this loaded Oregon club. You see where they are in national rankings, not just in the Big Ten, their new home, but in national rankings. So they'll get after you offensively, but that fielding percentage is very impressive as well. There's a good look at Ellie Garcia. Comes in with an 8-6 record, solid ERA. And Oregon getting a look at Logan Hewlin the first two times these teams have met. Sokolsky did pitch in relief. But Garcia is going to get the nod for the first time in this rivalry series. I think it's a great move by Berg. Give Oregon a different look. Transfer from Nevada, Garcia. Her last appearance was against Portland State. Went the distance, 3-hitter, allowed a couple of earned runs, but still picks up the victory. Here's a good look at Laura Berg. 13th season with Oregon State. That 2022 Women's College World Series appearance just went against all odds. It was one of the most magical seasons this program has posted in a long, long time. So we're ready to go here at Kelly Field. Leading things off, Kai Lushar, the redshirt senior out of Nevada. Hitting .376. She's a career .390 hitter and has really been hot as of late. You gotta hurry. That's just well played by Gutierrez, and Bamberger having to hustle over from second to grab that bullet and tap down the bag for the first out. Big, big out to erase Lushar. Watch Gutierrez, knows it's coming. She's got to get rid of it. Quick transfers there, boom, one down. Those are the kind of plays that Oregon State will have to make over and over and over. Because you're talking about an Oregon club that averages nearly 9 runs a game, nearly 10 hits a game. And Sinicki is one of the linchpins of this Oregon offense, the senior shortstop, who has added home run power to her arsenal this year. She has been a starter since day one for this Oregon Ducks. Rawlings Catcher of the Year last year. What an honor. Fouled straight back. And it's going to be critical for Garcia to work ahead in the count. Effectively wild, as Coach Berg calls her veteran. throws 63, 64, tops out at 65 miles an hour. She's going to have to mix things up. Bamberger hustling in, fighting that sun, 2 down. That'll bring up Kedri Lushar, Kai's sister, who is enjoying an absolutely fabulous year at the plate, hitting .474 to lead this club. 55 hits, the runs, the doubles, on base percentage. Yep, she leads the way. And as good as she's been overall, hitting over 500 in conference play. Lushar hit a .192 last year, and this was an absolutely loaded Oregon club that lost so many players to graduation. And Lushar, an everyday player this year, and is absolutely shining. But behind in this count, 0-2. Garcia making an early statement by getting ahead of each and every duck she has faced to this point. Almost got her. Trina Comerford calling balls and strikes behind home plate. Eric Hawthorne, our first base umpire. Mark Maciel down at third. Good crew. Just missing there. You see Donahue framing it. She wanted the punch out, but instead the count goes to 2-2. Against Minnesota, Lushar was 7 for 11, including a 2-run homer in Game 3. Just scalding hot. Just missing off the edge. Garcia trying to nibble. And Lushar doesn't walk a lot, doesn't strike out a lot. Battles to a full count. Protecting all the way, running out of real estate is Gutierrez. And Lushar, like Sinicki, adding pop to her bat. Had the slam in the first game of the year, her first at bat. Lushar, Kedri hits the grand slam. First time ever in her career to go yard. It's a really good at bat by Lushar. And keep in mind, she is a threat to steal. Not quite at her sister's rate, but still. She is an absolute threat. 22 of 22 in the stolen base department. We'll see if she's leaning towards the move here with 2 down. Here's Emma Cox, finally back from injury. Cox took a foul ball off her chest against San Diego. In the top of the first in the Oregon Classic at the end of February and missed, 22, 23 games. Finally returned Game 1 in this last series against Minnesota. She was the absolute go-to starting catcher before the injury, and she's back, catching and playing the DP role. Ball gets away from Donahue, and here's where things it gets interesting. Now you've got a runner in scoring position. These are the scenarios that will bite you against Oregon. Garcia, first time she's been behind in terms of a 2-0 count. And now 3-0. Obviously first base open. Cox has got home run power, just a freshman out of Colorado. Runner in scoring position, 2 away, 3-0 count. We'll see if Cox gets the green light. Taken all the way, consecutive walks issued by Garcia. Throw in a pass ball, runners at first and second. And here is another freshman, Riley McCoy. There's a good look at Garcia. And again, you look at this Oregon bunch. All the starters, superstar, big-time starters, gone to graduation. And yet, the veterans returning and a ton of great new talent has put this Oregon Duck program on the national map. McCoy, the freshman, hitting .427. And she is a long ball threat. First and second, 2 down. McCoy looking to do some damage. And Garcia struggling a little bit to find the plate. High and inside. Hitter's pitch coming. Two and one. Here's McCoy. Opposite field. No problem from Dardis, and you could hear a sigh of relief from this crowd at Kelly Field. So a couple stranded for the Oregon Ducks. Garcia settling down, wriggling off the hook. Home half coming up. First for the Oregon State Beavers. Lewis, Howie, Thompson, Gutierrez really swinging the bat well. Campbell has been in a bit of a slump. She's due to break out of it. The bottom three, 7, 8, 9 of Oregon State, really good in this recent series or two against the Big Sky. You're looking at the starting pitcher for this Oregon club, Stacy Chambers. Comes in at 2-0, 4.91 ERA. Hasn't thrown a whole lot of innings. She did make an appearance against Minnesota in the last series for the Oregon Ducks. Game 1 in relief, no decision. Transfer from Cal State Fullerton. Good look at Lewis, the transfer from ASU. Hitting .382. She's got the 29 hits, gap-to-gap hitter. She's got some good quicks out of the left side. The last victory that Oregon State had, that was against Montana, 2 for 3. Double, steal, and a walk. Looking at a 3-1 count. Taking all the way, count goes full. Big pitch here. Swinging at ball 4 and protecting is Lewis. Oregon State facing Chambers for the first time in this series. Good plate discipline there for Lewis. Coaxes the walk, and here is Howie. The junior, who is enjoying a career year, hitting over 300, leads this club with the 32 hits, playing some great defense in left field. Low and away, good job by Howie, who shows bunt and then draws that bat back. Corners charging in McCoy and Flannery. Outfield shallow as well. Again, this is one of the better fielding teams in the country. Chambers knows in that circle as she gets the starting nod. Only her third start of the season. She knows that she's got to be on point and hitting spots and locations in order to have a long outing. Howie with the chat. She and Berg want to make sure everybody's on the same pitch or on the same page. This is, you get somebody on and nobody out, man, you've got to play solid softball if you're Oregon State. Let's see if Howie can get bat on ball just to advance the runner. Big out. Howie drops that shoulder. One down. So that'll bring up Tristan Thompson. In Oregon State's upset victory over Oregon in Eugene, Thompson had the big 2-run homer. Waving at the off-speed, 0-1. Thompson, the transfer out of Indiana. Her batting average, the best it's been all year. Swinging a really good stick. Wow, smoked by Thompson. That was interesting. Sinicki is breaking for second base as it looked like it was a hit-and-run situation as Lewis takes off from first, and Sinicki almost was able to flag down that bullet up the middle. Got a glove on it, that's about it. Now watch the shade right there, but had to do the backhand. Sinicki almost able to reach across her body to flag that down, but it was hit so hard. It's up the gut for a single. And here's Gutierrez. Berg aggressive down at that third base box. Runners on the run. So a great situation for Oregon State. 2 on, 1 down. Rosa starting in that catcher spot for the Oregon Ducks. They've got the great luxury of 2 big-time catchers in Cox and Rosa. And already it's going to be a meeting with Lombardi and her infield, specifically Chambers. Action in the Oregon Duck bullpen. And Berg obviously wanting to make sure that her runners understand exactly what's got to happen. There you see some activity in the pen. Sokolsky, one of the pitchers, getting warm. Taylor Spencer also getting warm. So it could be a short leash for Chambers. Again, only making her 3rd start of the season. 2-0 count to Gutierrez. If you're Oregon State with this situation, 2 on, 1 down, you got to score. Waves through it. Chambers with a little heat. Injured at the beginning of the year. Chambers slowly returning. Comes at you from that left side. So that curve is always dicey. 2-1. Again, some heat. Gutierrez. So consecutive strikes from Chambers. You know she doesn't want an early exit. She's looking for a strikeout or a pop-up here. Campbell on deck. Here we go. Tapped foul. Gutierrez, the transfer from Eastern New Mexico, stays alive. Was terrific in that Lone Star Conference last year. Gutierrez, first team all-conference, hitting .379. She's been really solid for Berg and Oregon State. Can she get the big knock? Good eye, count goes full. Drama here in the first at Kelly Field. Winds really gusting right to left. Beautiful evening here, temperature low 60s. Winds picking up. Swinging at ball 4, but protecting is Gutierrez. One down. 2 aboard. Gutierrez with that full count. Protecting every pitch, getting to know Chambers just a little bit better. Gutierrez hitting over 300 since February 22nd. She's been really consistent. Full count, we're gonna do it again. Patient at bat, look at Gutierrez fired up. So that'll load him up for Lacey Campbell. Campbell hitting only a .168, but a veteran and has been clutch many a times in her career. Many a time. Bases full for Campbell. Bottom of the first, 1 away. Nice job by Rosa, making sure that ball in the dirt stayed in front of her. 1-0. Campbell coming off a career year. Let's see if she can find something to drive. And there it is, base hit. That'll score 1. Clutch hit by Campbell. I love the fact that she goes up there just looking for the knock. Just works with that pitch. And the big smile tells the story. 1-0, Oregon State striking first. The Beavers jumping on that pitch. Boy, head stayed steady, quick hands. Bat did all the work. And here comes Donahue. She has been hot. Last 3 games, she has just been tearing it up. Transfer out of UT Arlington. Base is still full. Oregon State. This could be Chambers' last batter if she's not able to erase Donahue. As Sokolsky and Spencer getting warm in that Oregon pen. Waves through strike one. One away. Bases full of Oregon State Beavers. And Donahue, clutch and good bat control, looking to add to the damage. Oh, what a pitch by Chambers. Took something off it and ahead in this count, 1-2. Jaya Butler on deck. You got to get more than one if you're Oregon State. They know it. Up top. Count evens up at 2 apiece. The kind of home half of the first that Oregon State would envision, but they know they need more than just the one. Little nubber staying alive is Donahue. Last 3 games against Big Sky opponents, Portland State and Montana. Donahue has gone to town. Started the year hot and you just had the feeling here is a player that's going to be every day and do the work. That's Donahue. Got her. Big, big K for Chambers. Boy, she reached back, didn't she? Donahue just not able to catch up with this one. And here's Butler. Now 2 down. First pitch swinging. Sinicki. Wow. A rare error by Sinicki. So ball runner and Sinicki meet almost at the same time. This is one of the best shortstops in the business. Check this out. It's a bang-bang play right in front of Sinicki. Can't tell who booted it towards third. But all the same, a run scores. We'll see if they rule that an infield single or an error. But it's 2-0. As of this moment, they're going to rule that a hit, and Sinicki would say, I disagree. Sinicki knows she makes that play 90 out of 100 times. But regardless, the run scores. And that will chase Chambers. So the start that Oregon State had in mind. So pitching change, going to get some tosses. Sokolsky back in a moment. So a pitching change for the Oregon Ducks. Sokolsky in. Redshirt junior, righty, out of Arkansas, transfer UConn. Comes in with an 11-1 record, ERA solid under 2. Leads this club in starts and saves, has been really, really solid for Lombardi. Comes in, inheriting a jam. Bases full, 2 down. Bamberger swinging at that first pitch. Ooh. You find grass there and everybody's running for a while. But quickly, Sokolsky ahead in the count, 0-2. There's a good look at Bamberger. Hitting .256, the freshman. She's going to have to protect here. Good job of protecting on that off speed. Bamberger solidly at second base for Oregon State. Seeing that average come alive as well. Good eye, good waist pitch by Sokolski. Battling health issues, Sokolski really turning a corner at the start of this year and getting the reps in, getting the innings in, and back to her old self. Count even at 2 apiece. Bamberger had the big 3-run triple against Portland State recently. Wouldn't she love to replicate that? Bases jacked, 2 down, 2-2 count. So Oregon State jumping on top 2-0, chasing Chambers. Just solid station-to-station hitting for Oregon State in the bottom of the first. Can they get a couple of more? Oh, unlucky there for Bamberger. Unlucky there for Bamberger, waiting nicely on the off speed. Again, 7, 8, 9 has been really critical for this Oregon State club. Bamberger in that 8-hole. Good piece of hitting by the freshman to just stay alive. Two and two. Ready to go. Fouled off again. Bamberger. Sokolski was brilliant in the second game of this series here at Kelly Field in early April. Goes the distance, allowing but 1 hit. Comes in relief here tonight. Base hit, oh, take it away, Jones. Man, that had base hit and 2 RBIs written all over it, and Jones would have none of it. At the last second, spears it for the final out. What a grab by Jones at second base for Oregon. Check this out. What a catch by Jones, all 5-3 of her. Saves a couple. Back at Kelly Field, Oregon State puts a pair on the board in the bottom of the first. A great defensive play. Stopping the damage at 2 runs as we go into the top of the second. Ayanna Shaw, the sophomore, will lead things off, making her 12th start of the season. Hitting .429 with the 15 hits. Really good on the base paths. Started in Game 3 against Minnesota in that series that Oregon swept just this past weekend. First start since the middle of February, and starting again tonight. Started early in the season, did Shaw. And she started the year with a 6-game hit streak. Let's see who's calling this one. Howie waving everybody off, 1 down. And that'll bring up Bracy Rosa. Again, when Cox goes down in February, Rosa, the number 2 catcher, steps in, and now it's hard to sit her. She has been so impressive behind the plate and at the plate. She and Cox can fluctuate now in many occasions between catching and or in the DP role. Had a 7-game hit streak in early March that lasted through the middle of the month, including a slam against Rutgers. So you get the opportunity, and Rosa making the most of it when Cox goes down. Just a little high. Comerford says 3-0. Taking all the way 3-1. Rosa, long ball threat with the 6 homers. Sophomore out of Hawaii. Turns on it. Deep but foul. Man, she ahead of that one. There's a good look at Rosa. Full count. Garcia was looking for the punch out there. Strike zone, not what she's liking. So Rosa aboard via the walk. Second free pass issued by Garcia. So here's Flannery, the sophomore out of Alabama, enjoying a career year. Just off the edge, you see the little grin on Garcia's face. Flannery with the 9 home runs. You go up and down this Oregon lineup, 1 through 9, and you've got most of the players with some long ball pop. Flannery will gap you. She's got really good speed on the bases, and she can go yard. Right down the gut, taken is Katie. Pac-12 all-freshman last year. Had the 4 home runs her freshman season, 9 and counting this year. Garcia cannot believe that. You see the body language and even the look on her face as Comerford, in Garcia's estimation, isn't giving her much of a break. So 2-1, and Garcia's got to come at Flannery. Right down the gut. Katie taking all the way. 2-2. Flannery, the number 8 hitter. Kaylin Jones in that 9 slot on deck. Crowd now getting on home plate umpire Trina Comerford. 3-2. Donahue turns around and has a polite conversation. If you're Garcia, you're thinking, gee whiz, I got to groove this thing. Flannery stays alive, fouling it off. Count stays at 3-2. Jones on deck. Oregon with the tying run at the plate in the player of Flannery. She's looking at a full count. And again, big threat to go deep. Center field. Lewis, big out for Oregon State. Flannery got a pitch that she thought she could work with, but flies out to center field, and that will bring up the number 9 hitter, Jones. Rosa on first via the walk. 2 down now, though. In that Minnesota series, Jones, who's hitting .306, goes 3 for 8. In game 2, had 2 triples. Her first 3 baggers of the year. Having a fabulous freshman campaign. And made that great catch to end the Oregon State threat in the first. But the Beavers did play to pair before Jones made that grab. So 2-0 is where we stand. Both these clubs will resume play in their respective conferences. Oregon State will go to San Diego, while Oregon will host UCLA in a 3-game set down in Eugene, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I don't know about you, but I just love the fact that both of these coaches figure out a way to play each other, not just once, but this is the 3rd meeting between these 2 teams. Oregon State, an affiliate member of the WCC, Oregon now in the Big Ten. Just love the fact that the rivalry continues. Good eye, Jones. Two and two. 2 down, runner at first. Uh-oh. Boy, for a second there, Lewis came charging in, put the brakes on, backpedaled, makes the catch. So that'll do it. Good job by Garcia, keeping Oregon at bay for now. Bottom of the second. Ella Dardis, the freshman out of nearby Tigard, Oregon, will lead things off for Oregon State. Beavers leading 2-0 against arch rival Oregon. Here at Kelly Field, 3rd and final game of the rivalry series this season. Dardis hitting .245 against Montana on Monday. 1 for 2, scored a run, and had a sensational catch in right field. She's been really solid, the yearling from Tigard. Number 9 hitter for this Oregon State bunch. Jada Lewis on deck. Oregon State looking to add to its run total. Inside edge, good location. 2 and 2. Beavers thinking that 2 runs probably not enough. Took something off it. Dandy. Dardis will have a seat. Second K of the game for this Oregon bunch. First K for Sokolsky in relief. So here's Jada Lewis, walked her first plate appearance, facing Sokolsky for the first time. Lewis with that scintillating 382 batting average. Left field, hit it pretty well and off the glove of Kai Lushar. Stand-up two-bagger for Lewis. Lewis going the opposite way with some pop. And you look at Lushar playing a little shallow. Had a beat on it. It might have tipped off her glove, but that thing carried. And again, the wind blowing right to left. Lewis without a home run, but hit that one pretty well. That wasn't going to leave the yard. But the outfield was playing kind of shallow for her. And Lewis standing on second with her 7th double of the season. Here's Howie. Popped out in a bunt attempt, her first time up. And with one down, you would expect Howie, as you just saw, to be hitting away in this at-bat. Full-time starter in 2023. Only started 11 games last year, and back to the full-time starting role is Howie. Good eye. And she's having herself a season. The junior out of California. Drop that shoulder. Good pitch by Sokolsky. Plenty of room for Flannery. Big out for Oregon. That's a disappointing at-bat for Howie. And here's Thompson. Really swinging a good bat. Smoked that single up the middle, her first plate appearance. That was against Chambers, facing Sokolsky for the first time. And just to remind you, Sokolsky in game 2 against this Oregon State bunch right here at Kelly Field in early April, pitched the one-hit complete game gem. Oh, look at that. You saw the ball turned over. Plenty of time for Jones. Sokolsky couldn't make the play out of the circle, and that thing had some goofy English to it. But Jones, hustling, makes the play to erase Thompson. Welcome back to Kelly Field. We're on the campus of Oregon State University. The Beavers leading 6th-ranked Oregon 2-0 as we head into the third. Let's see if Garcia can continue to have Oregon's number. Kai Lushar will lead things off, seeing Garcia for the second time. Lushar coming into this game hitting .376. Has already broken the single-season steals record for the Oregon Ducks. 45 for 50 in the stolen base department this season alone. Stole 3 bases in that Minnesota series and caught stealing for the first time since March 2nd. She is a headache. She's a migraine. She makes you nuts when she gets on base. A career .390 hitter. Consecutive seasons for Kai Lushar of over 400. Opposite field, Howie has a beat on it, one down, big out. So Luchar will sit down flying out to left field, and that'll bring up Sinicki, who popped out her first plate appearance. Garcia has done a really good job of getting those leadoff hitters erased the first two frames and now here in the third. Foul ball as Sinicki tries to lay it down. That was interesting. It made contact with her before the ball was in foul territory. Gutierrez, Campbell charging. Everybody tight for Sinicki, but can also go gap. Little tapper. Bamberger's got to hustle over to second and makes the play again. So Garcia hustles out of the circle, and Bamberger shading up the middle. I'm telling you, she is on a full tilt. Watch her, second base. She knows she's got to hurry. It's a foot race. Bang, bang play. Nice play by Bamberger to cover first. Two big outs. Two times Bamberger has done a great job of hustling over to cover that first base bag. So here's Kedry Luchar. Again, you just can't emphasize enough what a season she is having. One and two. Good eye. Count goes even. Opposite field. Howie has a bead. 3 up, 3 down. First time that has happened. Garcia, very impressive in the circle. So that'll do it. Still 2-0, Oregon State with the lead. Garcia masterful in the circle at this point. Sam Gutierrez leading things off for Oregon State. Beavers leading 6th-ranked Oregon 2-0 going into the bottom of the third. Gutierrez walked her first time up. That was against Stacy Chambers. She was lifted. Sokolsky now in the circle for the Oregon Ducks. Gutierrez had that really good first plate appearance, drawing the walk. Really patient against Chambers. Let's see if she can get something to drive or use that same patience attack against Sokolsky. Foul ball. Comerford all over that one. Home plate umpire. Against the Big Sky opponents, Oregon State's hitters were really jumping on early pitch offerings in every at-bat. Sizing up Sokolsky with a little more patience here in this game. 1 and 2, Gutierrez looking to protect. Fouled straight back. 2 runs on 4 hits for Oregon State. The explosive Oregon Ducks have yet to collect a hit. We're still mighty early. Gutierrez with home run power. Big K took something off it. You saw Sokolsky fired up. Leadoff hitter goes down via the punch out. Down in the zone. And here's Lacey Campbell. Had an RBI single her first plate appearance, facing Sokolsky for the first time. Right down the gut, called strike 1. Last year, Campbell led the club in home runs, ribbies, slugging percentage. Those numbers way down this her senior year. First 2 years, Campbell had 4 home runs combined, 17 RBIs combined. Last year, the 9 homers, 25 ribbies. Really had a magical season. Just missed that one. Good cut, just missed. Part of Campbell's hit parade last year was a big 2-run homer against Oregon. And a 2-run, 2-out walk-off blast against nationally ranked Stanford. She is clutch. Off speed. 2 down. So that'll bring up Donahue, who struck out her first time up. Campbell giving Donahue a few nuggets of advice before going to the dugout. So Donahue coming up with nobody on, 2 outs. Boy, how good has Sokolsky's off speed been? She's throwing it early and late in counts. Donahue waves through that one quickly behind 0-2. If you look at the records, these clubs go all the way back to 1974 when they first met. I'm going with that. They've played nearly 210 times. Rivals, of course, in the pack. And now in separate conferences, but the rivalry continues. We love it. And what a night for Game 3 of this rivalry series. Opposite field, chasing. You saw Shaw make the dive, but not before the ball hit the turf. Eric Hawthorne doing a great job down at first base to make sure that everybody knew that that ball hit turf. So Shaw doing a great job in right field to cover and track. But Hawthorne was right on top of that one as the ball just hit the turf before Shaw was able to smother it into her glove. So a 2-out single, and here's Butler. So Butler was given a hit when that ball she really smoked went off of Sinicki. Plated the second run. That's where we stand, 2-0. Lollipop there, missing. A 2-0 for Butler. transfer, Michigan State, finding a home here in Corvallis. Taken all the way. The first 11 games of this season, Butler is hitting .056. She was 8 for 36, and she has really gotten after it since that rough start. Fouled straight back. Had a 7-game hit streak to end February and usher in March, and she's just really been chugging ever since. 2-2, runner at first, 2 down. Got her, big K for Sokolsky. Off goes the mask, the big roar. She wants some offensive support, but still 2-0. Oregon State with the lead. Oregon coming up. For the senior righty. She'll face Emma Cox tonight in the DP role to start things off here in the 4th. Oregon State's bats have been quiet to this point. Again, a club that averages nearly 9 runs a game, nearly 10 hits a game. Cox walked in the first. Stranded there. Right down the gut. Strike 1. Right field. Dardis with the beat on it, 1 away. And for the 4th straight inning, Garcia retires the leadoff batter wearing Oregon gear. Huge. Here's McCoy. She and Stephanie Maake sitting on 13 home runs apiece. The Oregon freshman record for big flies, 14. McCoy's mom, star at Fresno State in softball. Huge prep recruit for the Oregon Ducks. First pitch swinging, and it was a beauty off the glove of Butler, but that thing was hit right on the screws. First hit of the game for the Oregon Ducks. McCoy records it. No chance for Butler on that play. Surprised she even got a glove on it. So that'll bring up Ayanna Shaw. Pinch runner for the Oregon Ducks. Reagan Legg, your pitch runner. The sophomore, good wheels, good solid base runner. And here's Shaw. Flew out to left field. Not a home run hitter, but she does represent the tying run. Look at that bunt. There's no play at first, and here comes Oregon. Look out, you don't want to throw the ball around. Gutierrez throwing that ball down to second, and Bamberger had to do a good job to make sure it didn't go into center field and advance the runners even more. So bunt single all the way for Shaw. This is just picture perfect. You see Gutierrez losing the handle. She wasn't going to have a play anyway. And she's got to be careful not to be chucking that thing around. So Oregon hitless coming into the 4th. Now has 2 aboard. McCoy's ripped single to left, and then the bunt single by Shaw. So first and second for Missy Lombardi in her 7th year with the Oregon Ducks. 5 straight winning seasons, doing a terrific job with this program. And here comes Rosa. You look at that 38-4 record. Yeah. Best start ever through 42 games for the Oregon Ducks in program history. Right down the gut, Rosa taking. So really good speed on the bases right now in Legg and Shaw. Really good speed. If Rosa can find the gap, it could plate 2. Waving through, strike 2. Ball off the plate, but Rosa couldn't catch up. This is interesting. Boy, Garcia could really use a strikeout. If I'm not mistaken, hasn't had one yet. And there's the miscue. So Butler was going to have some time to erase that runner at first. Off the heel of her glove. She's frustrated with herself, no doubt about it, and Oregon with serious action here. Garcia has got to be able to depend on her defense. That's a play that Butler knows she's got to make. And now the bases jacked for Flannery. First pitch swinging. Wow, no play at the plate. Okay. There was a force at the plate, a potential force at the plate, and Gutierrez decides to play it safe and let the run score with the force out at third. So here's Jones. 2 down, first and second. Oregon on the board. Runner in scoring position. So the error costing the Beavers, allowing Oregon to eventually plate their first run, 2-1. Center field, Lewis backtracking, makes the catch. Couple of hits for the Oregon Ducks and a run thanks to an Oregon State error. 2-1 OSU. The Beavers, Bamberger leading things off. Bamberger, in her first plate appearance, facing Sokolsky out of the pen, and ripped that line drive that looked like a sure hit that would have scored 2, but instead Jones makes that great grab at second base to end Oregon State's rally. They do plate the pair, but it could have been a lot worse. Bamberger. Just love the youngsters for Laura Berg, Bamberger, one of them. The everyday players that have really pitched in a big way. Bamberger taking the place of Kiki Escobar, who transferred out, and the freshman has just been solid. Little tapper on the off speed. One away. So that'll bring up another everyday freshman, Ella Dardis. Comerford making sure that Sokolsky has the right ball. Elise really solid out of the pen. Stacy Chambers starting for the Oregon Ducks was lifted after OSU scored that pair in the first for Sokolsky, and she slammed the door since. First pitch swinging, Dardis. Struck out her first time up. Looking to jumpstart a rally with one down here in the fourth. Lewis on deck. 1-1 count for Dardis. Comerford going down to Maciel for some help. Mark says Dardis did not go. 2-1. Good eye, Dardis. This is the end of a 7-game homestand for Oregon State. They will be at San Diego coming up this weekend, while the Ducks will host UCLA in Big Ten play. Smoked that thing, and that's got double written all over it, all the way to the wall. Fumbled for just a minute. Look at the hustle play by Dardis, and she legs it out for a triple, and she's fired up. Look at that freshman. First triple of the year for Dardis. Looked like Luchar, Kai, and Kedry, as that ball had gap written all over it. Now watch it fumble just for a second right there. And that allows Dardis to belly flop into third, safe all the way, and she is fired up. First 3-bagger of the season for Dardis, and a big one with only one down. Here's Lewis. Bottom of the order again coming through for Coach Laura Berg. Boy, and wouldn't this be big if Oregon State could answer that Oregon Duck run with one of their own. Lewis really swinging a hot bat. First and second open. Sokolsky might be kind of careful with Jada, with Howie on deck. Tapper. And that's a fair ball. You got to be kidding. Dardis really smart not to run Oregon State out of an inning. And the Ducks knew their only chance was to hope that thing went foul. Boy, and that just danced on the line, didn't it? Fooled on the pitch, no doubt about it. You see Lewis hustling down, and the facial expression tells you all you need to know. So another conference in the circle for Lombardi and the Ducks. First and third for Oregon State in the bottom of the fourth. Howie's scheduled to hit next. Taylor Spencer getting warm in the pen. Sokolsky has been really good since coming in out of the pen, relieving Chambers. This is an absolute huge at-bat for both clubs. Can Howie, who hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield, can she come through? Good wheels at the corners. Only one down for Oregon State. Big moment for the Beavers. Going all the way, throw down, cut off by Jones. And again, Jones, who they list at 5'3", climbs the ladder to spear that thing. So now second and third. Force is off. 1-0 to Howie. Ripped off of Flannery. Howie right on the screws. That's gotta feel good. Oregon State answering Oregon's run with one of their own, and perhaps they're not done yet. Howie. What a good rip at that one. Can't fault Flannery at third base at all. Here's Thompson. And Lombardi out to talk to Comerford. What an answer from Oregon State. You got to credit this Beaver bunch. When they beat Oregon in Eugene the first time these clubs met, that snaps a 16-game win streak. And Lombardi going to the pen again. So Howie, who hadn't gotten the ball out of the infield, rips that single off the glove and body of Flannery. So that'll do it. Warm-up tosses coming up. For Spencer. Special times here. Tosses coming back. Didn't pitch in that Minnesota series. Last game for Spencer was the start against LMU. The Lions with the massive victory against Oregon to snap another win streak for the Ducks. The WCC having some luck against these Oregon Ducks. Here's Thompson. Runners at the corners. Here we go. Ooh. Here's a how do you do off-speed offering from Spencer to start things off. Good eye, Thompson. You got to hurry. Looking back, making the play. Well played by Spencer to record that out at first, and it's a big one as nobody able to score, obviously, on that one. Runners at second and third now. Runner advancing to second, but, man, that's a wasted opportunity for Oregon State. So that'll bring up Gutierrez. Runners in scoring position, facing Spencer for the first time. She's walked and struck out in her 2 plate appearances. Ooh, ouch. Gutierrez gets plunked. That'll bring up Lacey Campbell, who's got an RBI single to her credit. She recorded that RBI with the bases full in the first. 2 down now. Bases jacked again. Taking strike 1. Campbell and Spencer facing each other for the first time in this game. Taylor brought in moments ago out of the pen as Oregon State chasing Sokolsky. third Duck pitcher of the game. Waves right through it. Spencer doing a great job of changing speeds to keep foes off balance. Ahead 0-2 here. Campbell not chasing, 1-2. Donahue on deck. Oregon State has already scored the 1 run here in the bottom of the 4th. They're looking for more. Bases loaded, 2 down for Campbell. Rosa spears that ball out of the zone. 2-2 for the veteran Campbell. Staying alive. Donahue on deck if Campbell can keep the 2-out rally going. Three to 1, Oregon State leading number 6 Oregon here at Kelly Field, bottom of the 4th. Campbell staying alive. It's not often that these Oregon Duck hitters at this point are this quiet. We've got a ways to go, but right now it's Oregon State with the 8-2 lead in the hit department, 3-1 lead in the scoring department. Wow. Got her. Well, it's a big strikeout. Spencer doing her job out of the pen. Oregon State strands 3, but the Beavers do play to run, and it's a 3-1 Oregon State lead. But 1 run at this point. There's the play that Butler has to make, and she does, to retire Luchar again. Every inning, Garcia has been able to retire the leadoff hitter. And credit Butler, who struggled a bit that last inning and makes a heck of a play to retire the speedy Luchar. It was routine, but man, it had to be perfect. Feet planted, transfer there, and the strong throw. Done. Here's Sinicki. McCoy registering the only hit for the Ducks at this point. And I'll repeat it. This is an Oregon club that averages 9.6 hits a game to go along with 8.5 runs per game. We still have a ways to go. But how good has Garcia been to this point in the circle? And when her defense is playing behind her, wow. Sinicki almost erased. And now the umps will confer. Berg was out of the dugout on that last sequence. Berg making sure that Donahue is okay. One of the greatest players in college and Olympian history. You see what happened as Sinicki fouls it kind of off the arm and chest of Donahue. And by staying alive, Sinicki aboard. You see the speed of Page flying down that line. You got to be darn near perfect when that ball hits the ground, and when it's well struck like that, Sinicki's got the advantage. Rule to hit. Here's Kedri Luchar. Luchar looking to drop the bunt down to get Sinicki in scoring position. There's a good look at Sinicki. Grounder. Do you get the lead runner? Nobody there. So Garcia looks to get the lead runner. Nobody at second base. Runners at first and second for Oregon. That was going to be a tough play with the speed of Sinicki. But Garcia thinks she's got to play. And you see Butler and Bamberger both hesitating to break for second. A lack of communication there in terms of who was covering second on that play. So now runners on first and second, and here is Emma Cox. Again, you run a huge risk by giving this club extra outs, and that's exactly what Oregon State is doing this inning. One down. Cox. Oh, man. Turning on that one, and then some. Yikes. Way ahead of that offering. You see the home run power of Cox. Missing all those games with that late February injury when she took a foul ball off the chest. Finally returns last weekend against Minnesota. Had hits in all 3 games against the Gophers. Welcome back, Emma. She represents the go-ahead run and has long ball power. Ooh, Garcia wanted that one. Instead, 2-1. The very dangerous Riley McCoy on deck. Payoff pitch, hitter's pitch coming. Rip up the middle, almost takes the head off of Garcia. That plates a run. Great job by Campbell to hustle all the way over from first. That errant throw from Lewis. 3-2. Wow. Cox right on the screws. Again, almost taking Garcia's head off. Take a look. And Sinicki not about to stop. So Berg out. Oregon back in this thing. Berg with all these new faces. Berg doing a masterful job. I think one of her best coaching jobs, losing so many to transfer, brings transfers in, and some freshmen, has the pitching staff of Hewlin and Garcia, as Crescio will now pinch run for Oregon. So here's McCoy. Errors really hurting the Oregon State cause. McCoy looking to do some damage. First pitch swinging. Three to two, top of the fifth. Sixth-ranked Oregon playing catch-up this entire ball game. Making a threat here with only one down. Inside edge. Garcia jamming McCoy, but nicking that corner. 1-2. And oh boy, Garcia needs something in the air or maybe even a K. McCoy staying alive. Coming into this game, the freshman hitting .427. She's got the 13 home runs. One shy of the Oregon single-season freshman record. What a time to record the strikeout. You see the emotion from Garcia, taking matters into her own hands. And McCoy, who doesn't strike out often, chases one out of the zone. Big strikeout. So now 2 down. Garcia with her first strikeout of the game, and it's a big one as Patman will pick up the bat to pinch hit. The usual everyday starter in right field will pinch hit for Shaw. Patman, transfer out of New Mexico State, hitting .327, and one of many Ducks with long ball power. She's got the 8 ding-dongs. 2 down, runners at first and second. Oregon has already plated 1. And now 2-0 for Patman. Leads this club in walks and strikeouts. Looking for something to drive here, ahead 2-0. Deep, deep. Oh, at the track is Lewis. Oh, man, Patman just misses the 3-run big fly. Wow. And I mean, Lewis was all the way up to the fence when she makes the catch. Woohoo! Out of the north. But dry. And that's all we care about. Here's Nikki Donahue to lead things off in the 5th for Oregon State. Spencer in the circle for Oregon. Relieving Sokolsky in the 4th, the 3rd Oregon pitcher in this ballgame. Garcia at this point for Oregon State has gone the distance. Donahue takes a called strike, 1-1. Opposite field single, her last plate appearance. facing Spencer for the first time. And Spencer ahead, 1-2. Third and final time these two rivals will meet. No longer in the same conference, but still the rivalry continues in heated fashion. Love it. Each team has won a game apiece, so this is the deciding game. And you see the roar from number 19, Spencer. A K to start things off. Fist pumps. So here's Butler. It would appear that Oregon will be using Lindsey Grine in game 1 against UCLA on Friday in Eugene. And Hewlin probably, if she doesn't appear tonight, that may not really even alter the decision to go with her in game 1 at San Diego for Oregon State. Flannery just kind of sticks the glove out, 2 down. So that'll bring up Paige Bambarger. Looking for her first hit of the game, robbed in the first inning. If she can get on, Dardis will come to the plate. She tripled her last time up. Two down, nobody on for Bambarger. One and one. Good look at Spencer, sophomore righty. All freshmen in the Pac-12 last year. Grounder up the middle. Spencer doing her job. Low throw, but McCoy handles it. So 1-2-3. Oregon will get their hacks in, trailing 3-2. Top of the 6th. Oregon State leading number 6 Oregon 3-2. Garcia in the circle. 2 of her best games this year going the distance against Northridge and Montana. 4 hits apiece in those games. Right now, Oregon, one of the best hitting clubs in the country, looking at 3 hits and trailing. Garcia relishes these opportunities. The bigger the challenge, the more she wants the ball, as Rosa will lead things off here this frame. Fouled straight back. Good look at the sophomore, who has just exploded this year. Had 3 plate appearances last year. Everyday player since Cox went down at the end of February. Now you can't get her out of the lineup. She's swinging such a hot bat. Tapper, trouble here. What a play by Bambarger. Paige has been terrific at second base tonight. You know, you look at the box score and say, yeah, whatever, but she has been phenomenal. And the Ducks still looking to get a leadoff batter aboard. Didn't happen this inning either. Garcia has been great not letting the Ducks get that leadoff hitter on every single inning. Here's Flannery. But to Oregon's credit, they've done a really nice job, even after the leadoff hitter takes a seat via the out. They've done a good job of getting things going with 1 and 2 outs. They're going to have to do just that as they trail 3-2. And now Garcia in danger of losing Flannery. 3-0. What a year for Flannery. Man. Right down the gut. Katie taken all the way. Long ball threat. Flannery with the 9 home runs. Three and 1. Skied. Center field. Big out. Lewis gobbles it up. You think about Patman's bomb deep to center field to end the 5th. Lewis all the way up against the fence. And that ball hit pretty well too. Just missing was Flannery. Here's Jones, the number 9 hitter. Ouch. Making the play is Gutierrez. And Garcia gives her a hug. That ball was ripped off of Garcia, and Gutierrez stays home. Bang, bang play to erase Jones. What a play by Gutierrez. This game has had it all. Oregon State still leading 3-2. Back at Kelly Field, Oregon State leading number 6 Oregon 3-2. Bottom of the 6th. 9-1-2 for the Beavers. Here's Dardis. Had the triple in the 4th. All right, here's the play that ends the last half for Oregon. Garcia. Gutierrez. Did she get rid of that thing in a hurry or what? Campbell with the stretch. Worth another look. We'll do that in a second. Man. What a play by Gutierrez to erase Jones. Could that find grass? It sure can. Dardis does it again. Bottom of the order, clutch. So leadoff knock for the freshman. Local kid does good. Gotta look one more time. All right, so watch Garcia is gonna just take this rip right off the body. Perfect carom. Gutierrez stays with it. Look at the reaction. It's great. Oh, this game has had it all. Here's Lewis. What will Berg do? With the runner on first, nobody on. Looking to square Lewis, good eye. One more run would be huge for Garcia and the Beavers as they try to post yet another upset victory over the nationally ranked Ducks. Look at the corners. They are in. Ooh, big chop to cross everybody up. Throw. Everybody was thinking that bunt was going to go down. Sinicki does a really good job of gloving that thing, and really the only play she had was to try to erase the lead runner in Dardis at second. But you see where Jones was trending towards first, looking that the bunt was going to go down. So nobody can make that play in time. Runners on first and second. It was just unlucky. Jones leaning towards first, anticipating the bunt, and just couldn't get to second quickly enough. It was a bang-bang throw and play, and good hustle by Dardis. Well, Grine is going to come out of the pen. Fourth pitcher for Oregon, and here is Lindsey Grine. Spencer did a pretty good job. But here is Grine. She'll get her warm-up tosses. Take all the time you need, Lindsey. We'll be back in just a moment. By my count, fourth pitcher for the Oregon Ducks, Lindsey Grine, coming on in with that glossy 22-1 record, ERA minuscule. And here's Howie, first and second, no outs. Pulls the bat back. Everybody charging for the bunt. What a game for Lewis. My goodness. First and second, Howie. You got to think she's going to square again. Oh, boy. Second time this game, Howie has popped up on the bunt. That's a big out for Oregon. Big out for Oregon. Is Howie unable to lay it down? So here's Thompson. Fouled straight back. Thompson facing Grine for the first time. When Grine pitched against these Oregon State Beavers in game one of the series in Eugene, Oregon State was able to touch her up a little bit out of the pen. Let's see if they can do it again. Ooh, look out. Boy, that just scattered the Oregon State dugout. That is friendly fire. Woo-hoo. So Grine quickly ahead, 0-2. Gutierrez on deck. First and second, one down. Grine calling time. Making sure that she and Rosa are on the same page. Ready to go. That ball way in on the hands. The strikeout recorded, and Grine getting a pop-up and a strikeout. This pitch way inside. So here's Gutierrez. Grine out of the pen, trying to put out the fire. So far, so good for Lindsey. Brings the bat back. Going down for some help is Comerford. Maciel says no, she did not go. 1-0 to Gutierrez. Reached via walk and was hit by a pitch in the fourth. And if Gutierrez can get on board, Lacey Campbell will take a poke. Boy, would Oregon State like an insurance run or two. They started this frame off, first and second, nobody out. Runners haven't moved, now 2 outs. Staying alive is Gutierrez. Just getting a piece of it. This game has just been wonderful to be a part of. Arch rivals going toe-to-toe. Clutch hitting, great defense. It's just been fun. Oh boy, just buckling the knees there. Gutierrez as Grind takes something off it, 2-2. Let's see if Gutierrez can chase home a run. Staying alive. The Oregon Ducks coming in at 38-4. Best record ever through 42 games. And Oregon State is leading the powerful Duck Bunch 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Fouled straight back. Pretty good cut. Gutierrez just missing. Gutierrez coming into tonight's contest, hitting over 300. Pretty clutch at the plate for Berg and the Beavers. Ooh, just missed that one. Sam with a good hack. She's got the home run power. Had a 3-run bomb against Portland State recently. She can go yard. Oh man, off speed. And you see Grind celebrate, and Oregon State sprints into the dugout, putting on the rally caps, going into the 7th. Do or die time for the high-flying Ducks. Top of the 7th, Garcia has been masterful in the circle, and the biggest test is coming. Kai Lushar leading things off. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 in the batting order for the Oregon Ducks. Lushar has been retired all 3 trips to the plate. Can Garcia do it again? This is a hitter. When she gets on, wreaks havoc on the bases. Number 1 in the United States in steals, but has not been to first base yet. Strike 1. Kai Lushar, Sinicki, Kedry Lushar scheduled to hit. Going outside, not chasing, 1-1. Oregon dugout up. They got to score or this game is over. Chop. You got to make the routine play. And, whoa! They're saying that ball hit the dirt as Campbell makes the catch on Gutierrez's throw. You got to really hurry with Kai Lushar flying down. And she represents the tying run. It was a bang-bang play, and for the first time this game, the Ducks get their leadoff hitter on. Let's take a look. So a little bit of confusion right now. While we were showing that replay, Sinicki charging down to first. And we will have our first review on the Oregon State side of things. So Luchar is able to get aboard to beat the throw from Gutierrez. And then here's Sinicki. Got her. There's your answer. So Sinicki looking to lay it down, but got the elbow. Berg is saying, wait a second, not sure about that. So there is a review. Obviously a huge decision pending. Maciel and Hawthorne. Here's the decision. Call will stand. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Here's Kedry Luchar. So Oregon with its biggest threat early in an inning and coming at the perfect time. They only trail by a singleton. Here's Kedry Luchar. Looking to square. She'd love to get these speedsters in scoring position for some of the big sticks. Can Oregon State's defense come through? Luchar, so dangerous at the plate. And Garcia, aware of the speed on the bases and Luchar's great bat control, now behind 2-1. Emma Cox on deck. Garcia can't believe it, 3-1. And we'll see if Luchar is taking here. Keep your eyes on the runners at first and second. Kai Luchar and Sinicki, 3-1. How about that? On a 3-1 count, still looking to lay it down. Count goes full. Nobody out. The Ducks with one of the most potent offenses in the country. Looking to get even and then some. This is a club that scored 20+ runs 4 times this year. Think about that. And right now they're just looking to get even. Oh my goodness, just missing there. Bases full, and here comes the dangerous Emma Cox. No room at the end for Garcia and Oregon State. Last plate appearance for Cox, ripping the RBI single. Great bat control, home run power. Right now, she's just looking to even things up. Bases jacked, nobody out. Here's Cox. Oh man, what a game. First pitch swinging. And you have got tremendous speed on the bases for the Ducks. The Luchar sisters and Sinicki, they can all fly. If there's something in the gap, they'll run, grab some dinner, and still be safe at home. Just off the outside edge, 1-1. And with the bases juiced, Garcia has got to come to the plate with something, and Cox knows it. taken all the way. Garcia has posted 1 strikeout. She could use one here or an infield pop-up. Anything deep to the outfield, semi-deep, is going to score a run. One run in. 2 runs in. Cox gives Oregon the lead. Emma Cox, what a story. Opposite field, inside out, no chance for Dardis, plays it smart, but plates a pair. Cox, who missed all those games after getting hit by a foul ball off the chest at the Oregon Classic at the end of February, just returns to the lineup last weekend. Comes through in a big way against Minnesota, but man, how about this against arch rival Oregon State in the 7th with the game on the line. And Cox rips the 2 RBI single. So for the first time, Oregon has the lead. Here's McCoy. First pitch swinging. This inning started with Kai Luchar grounding one to Gutierrez, who couldn't get her in time, and it just got the snowball rolling. Oh, 0-2. 4-3, Oregon with the lead on Cox's 2-run single. The Ducks looking for more. Smoke to center field, but right at Lewis. McCoy does her job with the RBI. That's a big run for the Ducks. You knew there was a chance for Oregon to do something special with Luchar, Sinicki, and Luchar leading things off here. So Oregon with the rally.
Reentering the game in the 6th spot of the order for the Ducks are now batting Shaw.
Shaw will re-enter and take her cuts. Shaw re-entering. One and one. Oregon State hasn't trailed this entire game. They started with a 2-run bottom of the first. Statement, if you will. But this frame, it's been all Oregon. Garcia has gone the distance for Oregon State. Big strikeout, and boy, did Garcia need that. Put a little heat on that one. Donahue lets out the roar as Shaw is erased, and here's Rosa. Rosa hitless at this point. Almost went fishing. Two down. Runner at first. Rosa flying out. But what an inning for the Oregon Ducks. They score 3, and now the Ducks lead at 5-3 going in bottom of the 7th. Oregon State trailing for the first time tonight, and they trailed by a deuce and have the challenge of plating a pair against Lindsey Grine or suffering a frustrating setback against their arch rivals. Campbell to lead things off. This game has just been fantastic. These two teams have met over 200 times, going back to 1974. That's what the records say anyway. We'll go with that. And this has been a heck of a contest. Campbell looking to chase something deep. Oregon State in game 1, winning in Eugene at the Jane Sanders Classic. And then earlier in April, it's Oregon returning the favor here at Kelly Field. And here they are again, game 3, back in Corvallis. And it's been wonderful. Let's see if Oregon State has the kind of rally that will make a statement, not only in the WCC, but around the country. Oregon State will end this 7-game homestand at San Diego, while the Oregon Ducks will go home and face UCLA for a 3-game set. But we've still got work to do here. Ooh, just missing his grind. Campbell. The count is full to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Do or die time now for Oregon State. Good job by Campbell. Staying alive, just missing on that pitch. Three and 2, just a huge at bat for both clubs. Campbell. Good patience at the plate by the veteran. Flores will now pinch run, and Trujillo will pinch hit. She represents the tying run. Riley Trujillo pinch hitting for Donahue. Had a pinch hit single on Monday against Montana, hitting 286. Represents the tying run. Fouled straight back, good cut by Trujillo. Butler scheduled to hit next. Good eye. Oregon State not going away quietly. Trujillo, the transfer out of UNLV. How about that stolen base? Flores got a great jump. The throw was high. So runner in scoring position, aggressive play by Laura Berg. Count 2-2. You can't be in a hurry if you're enjoying this game. And again, it'll be a review. I'm not sure what they're reviewing, but we'll find out. Maybe did she leave early? That's about the only thing I can come up with. So Flores, pinch running, let's take a look. No chance for Sinicki on the high throw. If the call stands, it's Flores' second steal of the season. And again, aggressive call by Coach Berg. Boy, I don't think so. So the umpires having a look, Maciel and Comerford. And here's Trina. Call stands. This crew has done a really good job tonight. And again, Laura Berg, one of the all-time greats, collegiately and with the USA Women's National Team, aggressive there. So Trujillo looking at a 2-2 count. Again, Butler on deck. Trujillo represents the tying run. Just missing there is Grind. Trujillo, Berg's first choice to pinch hit most of the time this season. Here's the payoff pitch. Got her! You know, did Oregon need that? So here's Butler. She's got the 3 home runs. First pitch swinging. Bamberger scheduled to hit next. Quickly ahead is Grind. Butler now will have to shorten that swing and protect. Close, and Butler does a good job of not chasing. Still behind though, 1-2. Flores at second, 1 away. And down goes Butler. Oregon State down to its last out. really good crowd on hand, and you know the Ducks traveled well, and their fans have been up cheering. That big push to grab the lead. Bamberger opposite field, off the glove, looking to make the play. Nice job by McCoy, because Bamberger tagged that thing. I just love the bottom of this Oregon State order. Look at the inside-out swing. Almost took the glove off McCoy. She was smart not to throw that thing away. So now runners at the corners. Dardis represents the winning run. This game, wow. Oregon State determined not to go away quietly. And a defensive replacement at catcher. So Cox coming in to catch. Cox, who had that big hit, her last plate appearance, now takes over behind the plate. Here's Dardis. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Oregon State needs 2 to tie. First pitch swinging. Dardis, not a threat to go yard, does not have any home runs at this point. Just looking to keep the rally going. A hit draws Oregon State ever closer. Quickly ahead is Grine, 0-2. What a game this has been. Got her! And Oregon celebrates.
And thus concludes tonight's rivalry series matchup. Your final score, Oregon 5 and Oregon State 3.
What a game this was. It goes in the books. Just a classic between these two clubs. Oregon coming back to defeat Oregon State, the final, 5-3. The Ducks taking the series 2-1. And this